At that point, I just had everybody back up. Deputy Richlick and Deputy Cave were there. I had them leave because I didn't think they needed to see it. We tried to establish a little bit of a perimeter, and by that time some other people came. The county had brought their dog, Deputy Simmons, and we tried to run a track right off from the very start. So myself, Eggeman, Brian Beasley, and Simmons, we ran the first track. That track, it was just not a great situation. That dog was a young dog. We weren't successful on the first track, I don't think. We backed up, had a second dog come out. We ran that track. Then things just evolved from there to where we had various areas of trying to set up a perimeter and just establish and trying to, of course, apprehend the individual that was responsible for doing it. And no luck that day. After a couple of different tracks, I just needed a break, so I just came back and just stayed down at the patrol car where he was at while the TBI processed the things. I didn't want to leave him alone.
Is there anything specific about your uniform today in regards to the search?
Yes, ma'am. So that night when everything had kind of calmed down, it was about a 20-hour day. I went home. My feet were wet. They were bleeding from everything we were doing. I took my boots off at the back door and inside back door of my home. And they have sat there for 3 years. I haven't cleaned them. And I said I wouldn't wear them until today. And I'm wearing them today with the same blood, sweat, tears, and mud.
Thank you.
Wow, what a powerful moment of that was. Perhaps the biggest moment of this trial so far. Let's bring in our think tank tonight for reaction. Joining us in Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney, former federal prosecutor, and law professor at Texas Southern University, Michael Sterling. In Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Al Wunsch III. And in Seattle, Washington, trial attorney Ann Bremer. Great to see you all tonight. Thank you so much for being with us on Closing Arguments. Michael Sterling, I want to begin with you, if I may, please. And you have experience on both sides of the courtroom. And so hearing this moment, I have to tell you, I kept thinking this is great for the prosecution, but then I kept thinking the defense should have been objecting because as powerful as it was for the state, really wasn't relevant. I want your thoughts on this, please.
Yeah, Julie, you nailed it. I don't think I can commentate better than what you just said.
Well, you're very kind. No, I want your thoughts. I want to hear more from you. Please.
No, I mean, which is that, yeah, it was a terrific moment for the prosecution, for the state. But yeah, absolutely, the defense should have objected, should have pointed out to the court and made the court make a decision, because ultimately, the reason you object at trial is to preserve your record for appeal. So sometimes you know you're going to be overruled. Sometimes you know what's going to happen at the trial, but you want to preserve your record for appeal. And I feel like the defense really missed an opportunity to preserve their record for appeal by failing to object in this particular circumstance.
Right. And let me ask you a follow-up, please, if I may, Michael. Let's just say they did lodge that objection at the right time. Let's say when the prosecutor, and it was a leading question. She said, is there anything else about your uniform that you might want to mention? You know, she kind of led him down that road. And let's just say they were savvy enough to stand up and make the objection before His Honor. Do you think the judge should have sustained it or would sustain it? What do you think would be the right ruling, please?
I think certainly for a relevancy objection, I think the judge should have sustained it. But listen, there's a reason that I'm a criminal defense attorney and not a judge.
Maybe someday,
but
Michael,
yeah,
you'd be a
but
great
yeah,
judge.
I think that the judge probably should have sustained the objection if it was relevancy specifically related to this particular witness's testimony. I can't disagree with your analysis.
Well, I appreciate your analysis. And, it's one of those things, it's like you can't unring the bell. Once it's out there, it is out there. And it is the moment everybody has been talking about. That moment and this other one that I want to play for all of you. And this is where another law enforcement officer, his name is Nathaniel Proctor, he responded to the scene and he talks about what went through his mind when Sergeant Baker was found in that patrol car, his body set on fire. It's just dreadful. Let's listen together.
What was your reaction when you opened that rear door?
I just, as a father, I thought about his little girl. You know, I watched for rise and fall of his breath. I didn't see it. He'd been set on fire. He was burned underneath his underarm area to his waist. That's what I saw.
Let me back up just a moment. You said when you knocked out the window, you smelled smoke.
I did.
I think you testified it hit you in the face. Is that right?
Yes, the odor. When I busted the window out, the odor.
So there was still smoke in the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
It is just so sad hearing him talk about thinking about Sergeant Baker's little girl left to grow up without a father. Al, let me go to you next on this one, please. And you also, like Michael Sterling, have experience as a criminal defense attorney and as a prosecuting attorney. With that first question, the way it was worded, it was, what was your reaction? Do you think the defense team should have stood up and objected to that, to what went through his mind at the time?
If I'm the defense in this, I want that cop off the stand as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get into a situation where I'm having a debate with my, with the prosecution about whether that's objectionable or not objectionable, and then he starts crying on the stand. Why would I want that? I want him off. I mean, what was his impression? What was he looking at? He has found his brother officer dead in a car that was set on fire. To sit there and hound on it is just going to make it worse in the long run. Get him off the stand as quickly as possible and move on to the next witness. You gain nothing by getting a sustained objection on that, except the fact that the prosecution is already got out, like you said before. You can't unring a bell. Mm-hmm. Prosecution's already got it out. Move on.
Right. Al, thank you. Last but certainly not least, Ann Bremner, trial attorney. I want to go to you on this one. Just overall trial strategy for the state. Tell me, what do you think of the state's case, their presentation so far? What do you like? What do you think may be lacking, please?
Well, I watched the opening statements and I thought the prosecution did an amazing job. I mean, it was like, shots fired, officer down, to start with that, and then to end with, we're going to prove this case beyond reasonable doubt. We're going to prove it beyond any doubt. I felt like if I were the defense attorney, I'd just be like, oh, I don't want to stand up. I mean, how do you follow that? So I think they're doing an excellent job. They're bringing in the emotion that's necessary. This is devastating testimony, just devastating. I vote for Michael for judge if that's what he wants to do. I agree with him.
Yes.
I mean, right?
Judge
Michael
Sterling
for judge.
I can see it now.
Me
he
too.
Is brilliant.
Yeah, he's not looking too happy about it right now. But
he's not ready to run just yet.
Okay.
But I know he appreciates the endorsement, Ann.
But I think his points are great, as always.
Yes, well, I appreciate you all being on the program tonight. I have so many more questions for you three. Thank you kindly for being with us tonight. We're going to step aside for a quick